Hi, I'm Arjun Partha, and I'd like to welcome you to the Druid's Craft Paper Plane Dossier. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a DC-3 plane by Kyong H. Lee. For this paper airplane, you're going to need a 75 GSM printer paper with the dimensions 7.3 by 4 inches into 6 inches and a cutter. It's just as simple as that. To begin, we are going to take a paper like this. Now, it's very easy to make these cuts. First, take the paper and imagine you're drawing a trophy. So this would be what the trophy stand will look like. So you get approximately the middle of the paper and you just cut it out like this, and you'll have something like a trophy stand. Now this is the easier part. Again, in the middle, draw a diamond like this. First start with a triangle, then draw these two lines, go a bit further, then go and take these lines and draw it till the edge. So you will have somewhere in the half. I have not made a half mark on this side. So it's really easy. If you make a reference half mark, this design is super easy to make. Otherwise, I recommend you make a mark in the middle of the page. So it's very easy for you. The first step is you're going to take this corner, just fold it down till this bit right over here, this corner triangle touches this, or this line touches this line. So if you cut it correctly or got a paper of the correct size, then it should come exactly like this. If you feel you've gone wrong here and there, feel free to adjust it. So you got a halfway fold like this. Then repeat the same for the other side. Take this end, just fold it down to the other end. Make sure to line the paper up carefully. And if you've done correctly, it should come exactly like this. So you get a triangle first on this side, then on this side. So now you've made an X in the middle of your page. Now we are going to fold it and turn it over and press down over here. Take this bit, fold it down till it reaches the middle. Just make it line up to the end points so that this flap right here ends up here. When you're confident, make a nice big crease. And remember, this is down the other side of the paper from which we made the crosses. Now I'm going to teach you something known as the water bomb fold. You've made your X's and you made this. Now I'm going to take your paper like this and start pulling it up by the sides. And you should get something like this. Then you're going to fold this down and press it. Then you're going to notice this big tunnel flap over here and press that down. When you're done, just remember to crease the model so that the edges come nice and firm. Right, just like that. Then you're going to take this flap and fold them to the center. Just like this. Hold it up to meet the center. Do not pull it back. Just let it rest there. Then do the same for the other side. Like that. You can lift the flap to make it easier if you like, because I found it's always a little bit more convenient. And then should have something like this. We're getting very close now. Then we are going to take this and you're going to determine a point along this fold we made right here. Select the middle between this part over here and this part. Find out the middle, or you can just eyeball it. which basically means not taking scale, just seeing your eye and deciding. Like that. And we're going to fold it down like this. Just keep making it go and line up somewhere along the middle. And yeah, it should come like this. Then imagine there's a line drawn from this end right here to the other. Fold this along that line. Or if it's more convenient, you don't need to imagine a line. You can draw it for yourself. Then adjust as per necessary. Push it up and down a bit till you get the perfect crease. Then your plane should roughly look like that. Then you're gonna lift this up a bit and tuck this under. Just fold it up, and then it should get tucked in. No more of this extra triangle. Again, do the same thing and push it in. If it was unclear how it was done, feel free to rewind the video. And it should look like this. Remember, you just folded this flap to come under this flap to come under this. Now that wasn't so hard, was it? Now we are going to turn the model over on this side. And we're going to fold this tip downward. And if your little diamond has been drawn properly, the nose over here should touch the top of this diamond. And you will have something like this. So it look like a cat's face, 2 ears. It should look like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this triangle right here and fold it up till here. Imagine there's a line drawn here. Or if you have a cutting mat like me, select one grid line and put it along there like this. Or you can turn it around, whichever is easier for you, and put it like this. Make sure these two triangles here line up along a point. Then you're going to fold this and make it coincide with that line. Don't crease till you're sure, just keep pinching. Remember to angle it correctly. Just press, 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 press. Like that. We're almost there. Now we're going to take this. This is the way up. This is the way down, and this is the way up. And we are going to fold the model in half. It's nothing complicated about this. Just keep pinching it down here and there till you're sure about where it's come. And you have folded it in half. Now just pull it apart here like this. Then we are going to take our scale. We're going to observe this line here. For the diamond, this line, this line. And we're going to draw a very small line with one of our pens. I'm going to use mine. It uses purple ink. We're just gonna take one end and pull it with purple like that. Draw a line like that. That's what your first line should look like. Then we draw the other one. Again, we select a point. We make sure it's straight, line up the plane along a line if you need to. And take your pen and draw along. If you plan on designing this further, I recommend using a pencil instead of a pen. But since I don't really have a plan, For decorating this, I'm just going to take my pen and draw along. Like that. Now we know which lines to fold along with. So we're going to fold it in half, but this time it's along the line. So just push this part of the model down. Just like that, push it down. Same for the other side, push it down. Along the line, just keep pinching along the line so that if you make any mistakes, you can correct them. Like that. Then you should have something like this. Then fold it in half. Now here's an important thing. You'll notice your plane should look like this. Just take this part at the bottom. There's this sort of flap. Just push it up instead, because that's when you have like made a good rudder. And then just let it rest for a while. Let it expand a bit like a plane. Let's wait for maybe 30 seconds for that. And now you have successfully completed your paper airplane. Now I'm going to show you not one but two design versions of the same paper airplane. And now one designed version of your colored paper airplane could look like this. You could use cool colors, that is shades of blue and white, and put some star decals on the wings and on the rudder in the back to make it look like it came from space and it's an embodiment of the stars that are there. You can also write a name along the fuselage very neatly. Douglas DC-3. And you can even put white on the peaks here to make it look like it's a shooting comet whose fuselage is nice and heated up as it comes into an orbit of a planet or something like that. This is what your second design could look like. Again, you can make it contrasting. This time, instead of using the stars, you can put a sun over here like this. Nice two suns. Put one on the rudder too maybe. And this time use warm colors. That is yellow, red and orange. Those are the warm color sets. And you can do that for the peaks too. Put nice gold and yellow here, here, yeah. This time you can write the name along the wings. Douglas DC-3. Now the great thing about making an entire set like this is because you could encompass the entire design and intricacy and beauty of the universe in maybe 5 or 6 paper planes or so. Now let's do a flight test. An important thing to remember about the creator Kyong H Lee's designs is that they have a good visual element. However, not all of his designs are very good flyers, so I recommend that some of them can be kept as just showcase rather than actual flight. Now let's commence a flight test. And now we are going to commence our test flight. The thing about the designer, that is Kyong H Lee's paper airplanes, is that they look much better than they fly. But there are a few exceptions. Today we're going to find out if this is one of those exceptions or just like the ordinary. Looks much better than it flies. So, to begin, we are going to launch it at a medium speed to find out. If that doesn't work, we're gonna launch it at slow and fast speeds. First thing I recommend is blow a little into the plane, like just like that. And we're going to launch it in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, and in case you were wondering, the Douglas DC-3 is a propeller-driven airliner which had a lasting effect on the airline industry in the 1930s and 40s and World War II. It was developed as a larger, improved 14-bed sleeper version of the Douglas DC-2. Here's some general information given here. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to read that. Okay, that's good. Yep, so that's some side information about the Douglas in case you were wondering. After 4 rigorous 24-hour days, I have come to the conclusion that you've made a stance plane. Now here's why I've come to this conclusion. When you throw it at a slow, medium, or fast speed, you must have noticed that you can get a range of abilities. Like the first would be that it could go and do tons of loops before landing gently. Third is that it can go very fast and come back to your exact same position. Wherever you throw it, it comes back exactly at that level. And third is that it will go make a full orbit around you and come back a little lower than where it was before, but it still works. And the fourth and final thing it can do is it has the ability to go at incredibly fast speeds, because I have tested this on a building, on the top of a building. If you throw it at a very fast speed and you throw it high enough, it's going to do one big loop like this and come down at a really high speed like a comet. And then the interesting thing is, a few feet above the ground, a few feet, it's gonna start like slowly coming and gently scraping the ground like that. Well, I don't have the top of a building to test this on. How am I going to do it? It's simple. Go to the place where your house is the highest roof, right? From there, you're going to throw it as high as possible and make sure it doesn't hit something. The important thing is if it hits, it makes a small spiral like it got sucked into a whirlpool and comes down, which is still really cool but does not achieve the ability to do stunts to the fullest level. So if you're gonna test this, just throw it a little, like a little above the floor with full force. Then it's gonna gain lift, go, and it's gonna come down and smoothly land. See, that's the special thing about Kyong H models. They're good on showcase and they're pretty good at flying. However, there are some that are not, but we'll come to that later. Now we're coming to an end of this video where I'm going to give you one and only one golden rule while using this plane. Always have tons of fun making such paper airplanes, and feel free to share it with other people so that they too can experience the joy of folding and flying paper planes. And always remember, play safe and play fair. Thank you for joining me today. See you next time.